silence for Bob Stone, Chris Stone's dad, and for William Zeal, Chief Zeal's mom. Thank you. Public comment. Lynn Ryder.
Yes, I just wanted to comment on the agenda, number 5 under new businesses, where I believe it says policies and procedures. I think it's flying awfully close to the sun on the Open Meetings Act, because the Open Meetings Act is supposed to be a sufficient statement to apprise the public of the nature of the business to be discussed, and that really doesn't.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, I'm not going to file a complaint, I'm just
Thank
saying.
you. I'll address it when we get to that point, okay? Thank you. You want this? Thank you. And I will accept a motion to...
I'd like to make a motion that we move new business item 1 to now. For the little library, the Girl Scout 2902.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Stone? Well, oh, thank you. Do we all agree? Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to present this thank you certificate to Troop Foster Troop 902 for creating the Foster's first Little Free Library.
It is located at Woody Lawrence, and the girls did a really nice job.
They did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
They really did, and I love their shirts.
Yes. And I will tell you, I go to Albany, my grandchildren live in Albany, and we were riding around at playgrounds, and there was a little free library well, it's actually East Greenbush, New York. And I knew what it was because I recognized it from seeing yours. And so thank you for educating me on the free.
You knew what to do.
I knew exactly what it was. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I do. He is, well, he is that.
I think she's in Brady's class. I got this here. Yeah, which is cool. Yeah, they're good buds. That's nice. Yeah. All right, thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much. So now we will go back to the agenda. You guys want to-
I make a motion, we accept the consent agenda with the removal of D, which is warrant number 21.
That's B?
D.
Oh, it's D, I see, it's missed here. Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so then moving on,
I'll make a motion to approve general warrant number 21 in the amount of $66,318.11.
is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to building use rental agreement. Mrs. Dillon.
Okay, so I sent you the old rental agreement and the updated one. And you should have seen it. And I also sent you an email stating why I did what I did. You tell me if you have any questions.
Okay, I got technical difficulty.
If you hit download,
So
okay, and then
This page is not working.
it is not. Wait a minute, let me see if I can get it online and you can go off of mine.
no, this is the one that I said there's a problem with, and I sent the email out. I don't know why, but it's in the same folder, and it's Bill News right here, agreement. This is the new one. There you go.
Beautiful.
So now you just have to turn it around.
Yeah.
Right here. Okay. And just rotate it and tap on. So what the rental Woody Lodge was $50 for a resident and a non-resident is $100. We updated that. And we made it by how many people are attending the pod. So it's up or renting would be up to 50 people would be $75 for residents and $125 for non-residents. 51 to 100 would be $100 for residents and $150 for non-residents. And 76 or higher would be $125 for residents and $175 for non-residents. So we did that because we're having issues with, we have large groups that rent it. And, paying $50 to rent it, and we have septic issues. There's a lot of wear and tear in the building, and I just thought that would be the best way to do it. Most residents rent it, it's for 50 people or less, so it's $75. That includes the air conditioning, the heat, it includes the kitchen use, it includes the tables and chairs, and I really and truly don't think that you can go anywhere for that amount of money.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I don't agree with that, changing the amount of people. Let them use the building, the amount of people shouldn't matter. But I'd like to stay at $100.
$100 for non-residents and $50 for residents.
No,
The old one was $50.
let me look at it.
The old one was $50 for residents and $100 for non-residents.
So when you say $50.
So, I thought it was, all right, so stick to the $75 and then the $125 for non-residents.
And that would just be a base, it would be for no matter what size.
That's it.
So is that your motion or let's,
Well,
why don't
it's
we
not
start
a
with
motion, we gotta
motion?
go through it.
Right, so should we?
That's a
make
recommended
motion?
change from me.
Okay, should we make a motion then to accept?
I'll make a motion to accept it as written.
Okay, is there a second to accept it as printed and then we can discuss?
You want to just, you
If you want
want
to discuss it,
to, second, just to,
Just-
All right, second.
For discussion purposes only. Okay, so now Chris has made his recommendation.
Are you done speaking first? Yes.
Woody, or do you have, 1 second, Cheryl does too, so she goes first.
Chris, you have anything want to say?
No, I just don't agree with the multiple.
Or
We're not cleaning up, we're not,
sometimes we are.
sometimes we are, but we're gonna keep the deposit if
There's a
We
green
have.
deposit. So
But
Cheryl,
I spoke to Sue about different groups that have been going in there, and there's one in particular that's, one person is a resident of the town, but they're bringing in a lot of outside children, and there's a lot of wear and tear and a lot of opening and closing doors during the winter with the heat, with the water, with the electricity. I think if it's, I think that's fair. Those numbers are not high. Trust me, I just made some phone calls to rent some facilities outside of town. Those numbers are very fair. And I think we need to maintain that building into the general fund. So I don't see why we shouldn't charge for the use of it, especially if it's getting more use, and it seems to be getting more use all the time. That's why I agree with Susan.
Were you saying something?
I said that Woody Loudon is booked almost every weekend, and it's booked during the week with the kids, of course, there's Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, and we have multiple people that use it every week. It does get a lot of wear and tear.
So who's monitoring the numbers?
In what aspect are you talking, who's
You-
monitoring, what numbers?
The numbers you put on the sheet?
Well, Susan,
So I have a spreadsheet, and when people call and they want to book it, then they fill out the paperwork, they send in their deposit, they send in their security deposit. I mean, it's all online, everything is online.
Or not really keeping track?
Yes, of course, I'm keeping track of everything
You're
that.
keeping track of what they tell you.
Yeah,
Nobody's actually there counting.
There's nobody there
They
counting.
fill out a form
They
and
fill out
say,
a form.
right, they fill out the form and say, there's 50 people, or they fill out the form
Form
and
and they say
say,
75, or they fill
Right,
out a
right.
form, this
So
girl
that was
has over
Chris's-
100 people.
that's what Chris is saying. There's
But we
nobody
have,
else.
okay, so let me just say that we have gone there, and that's how we found out, like, we do check. Because DPW had a problem with the septic, they had to go and fix the toilet, there was issues with, they called us and said, listen, the door is wide open, they have the keys on, the kids are running in and out. I went there, there was tons of kids, and there was more than, they have 83 kids that attend, and their parents, so that's 100 people. That's almost every week, it's almost every week, every other week, every week, sometimes twice a week, it depends.
Okay.
Any further discussion? I had some other things I wanted to ask about, but.
well, I would add one more
I
comment.
got other things too.
Okay.
The Woody Loudon, it could use some good loving care. It needs some work. And if we're gonna keep renting it like we're doing, then we need to be able to maintain it. And the only way we're gonna be able to really do that is if we charge for the use.
But if it goes into the general
General
fund,
fund.
it's
Well,
not going to cleaning or to maintaining.
but then the money is there that we can allocate.
If it's not earmarked for Woody Loudon. Carolyn, you had your hand first, then Lynn, and then, thank you.
What? I was just gonna ask, how do you determine
Oh,
residents
did you
versus
see it? I'm
non-residents?
sorry.
No, good, no.
Residents and non-residents when it's an organization, because Swamp Meadow has in the past used it in the summertime, because the school is closed, so we can't use the school for, rehearsals, so we've been using Woody. So where it's an organization, where there's a lot of people that belong to Foster, I don't know, I mean, how do you determine whether it's a resident or a non-resident in that
Well,
situation?
with Swan Meadow, we are only charging them $25 for the use of the building.
Okay,
So how do we
So that's
determine
not-
that?
that's,
That was something that he had called us, he wanted to rent it for 3 weeks in July.
Okay.
So
yeah,
And we weren't collecting any money at all.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But that's why I just, like, if we have this policy with residents versus non-residents, I was just concerned about how do you determine if it's an organization
Right,
that comes in?
that would
And
be,
there used to be like a co-op that came in and did food once a month. You know, I didn't know if they're affected by this, or is there a different,
They're not, co-op hasn't been there.
okay, so this is mainly for parties. and-
That's for parties.
Okay.
so it's for parties, it's not for the Girl Scouts.
So
it's not for-
scouts and stuff aren't.
So how do we determine who?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And then the second thing I just wanted to say is, I know I've rented before at South Gloucester Fire Station, and I know they have a designation for the number of people. If it's 50 or under, it's one, and if it's over 50, it's another. So I don't think that that's an unreasonable recommendation, because I know other places also do that.
Mike, I'm sorry, I did not see you raise your hand.
No, you mentioned the money will go into the general fund, but DPW maintains that building, or supposed to maintain that building anyways. So it's already, that money's already in his budget to do what he does there.
I don't want to speak under it, but I think what Cheryl is saying that, as we know, Woody needs a little bit more than what's probably in our budget.
Yes.
So if the money is there, by raising the prices, if the money is there, we may be able to do more to Woody's than what we're able to do
And
now.
he would be able to put that in his budget, to put extra money in his budget to say, hey, I'm gonna replace the,
Well, I think that's a different
That's
topic too,
different.
because what you put in your budget is our taxes. So if it's already in the general fund, you see what
you know,
because if it's not earmarked for
that's
Woody's
part of his
or
budget,
maintenance.
right, that would be part of his budget, so he would say, I'm gonna replace, I don't know, the kitchen.
Mhm.
And he said, I need $2,500 or I need $10,000. Okay,
So
so
he
he
takes
puts
it
it in
out
his
of,
budget and then you approve it.
well,
I don't think
if it's in his budget, doesn't the budget, maybe we're talking two different things. I'm thinking budget, and you have to do a financial town meeting, and here's, I need $10,000 for,
That's correct. I don't
okay,
think
that's
we
your
earmark
budget.
our money. We have so many things that go into the general fund that we don't earmark them for special things. That's part of our budget. So when we do our budget, we'd say, hey, this is what I need, and I can justify why I need that money.
And the money's in the
And
budget.
the money is
Money's
the
coming
general
in,
fund.
money's coming in,
Yeah.
there.
Do a dedicated account. just-
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that I would prefer, is
Yes.
dedicated
And
account.
that money goes in there, and then you know what you have, you know what you can spend. Because you put it in anyone's, let's say the General Assembly of the state of Rhode Island, it's a black hole, you can't just throw money into that. So I think the same thing, if you put money in the DPW budget, how do you know that it's actually gonna
Right.
be money? You probably should need a dedicated account if you're gonna just take money strictly from these groups, and then you know what you're monitoring that money, because you know what you're getting, you know what you have the ability to spend. That's how I would do it.
Yes,
My point is that the DPW already, regardless of the changes that would maybe be made at the Woody, DPW already does it. It's got nothing, if it didn't get rented, the DPW still does that. It's got, the two really have
Right.
nothing to do with each other. They would still do it.
okay, I guess I'm hearing what Cheryl's point
Well, it's
was.
all about renovations,
I am.
not going.
Right, not the day to day, or
Accessible.
the week to week. She was talking about improvements to Woody Loudon's, I believe. So that's what I was addressing.
Oh.
I understand what you're saying, but that's not, I don't think that's the conversation Cheryl's having.
That's for the dedicated account.
Yes, please, dedicated account, thank you, Mr. Attorney. Sometimes I
Mrs.
don't listen.
Dwyer,
Just a couple of things. First of all, I think that the septic system is a big issue with large groups.
yes.
And we know, particularly if it's children, they'll go every 5 minutes just because they can. And, you know, if you have a large group, a larger group, more than likely you're going to have a little bit more money coming in for whatever. You know, the large group expects to pay a little bit more than a small group. And as far as the dedicated account, I think that's great, and maybe label it something like, supplemental maintenance or something, so that, just make sure it's supplemental, so that somewhere down the road, they don't rely on that entirely as the budget for maintaining that building, because that'll never work. But yeah, to be able to do all the niceties, you know, which eventually will become absolute necessities.
And it's a great facility to have for the town. I think it's wonderful. I've used it a couple of times myself, and it's great. But as I'm standing in there and I'm cleaning it or whatever I'm doing, setting up, I'm thinking, this could use some more funds coming in. And I think this is one way of helping that happen.
You were saying something before, I'm sorry, while Mr. Troy was speaking. Did you want to say it? I couldn't hear you, because Mark was talking.
No, I lost it, so.
It'll come back. Audrey?
I'm just wondering, when somebody rents it, is there hours that they do, or there's like one flat fee for the whole day?
Yeah, it's one flat fee. So if they say I need it from 11 to 6, then that's what they need, 11 to 6. If they say I need it from
So
1
they
to
do specify hours?
They tell us the hours that they're going to use it. Most of the time, it's like a day, half a day, like, or they'll set up at 11, and then they'll be out at 5.
It does say rental time in and rental time out on the application.
I think we should charge more.
Well, if you're going for 4 hours or 8 hours, it should be a different fee. The longer you're there, the more.
Again, that's, we would have, someone would have to be there.
Well, I know when I rent places for things, usually you have a time you can be in, you have to be out by a certain time, you know, and, you got 4 hours.
No one's renting it though, and it's a resident, no one's renting it out, or wants to rent it at night and they have it in the afternoon. As long as they take their trash, clean it up, and bring the key back to the, police station, I think we're fine with that.
Carol?
One more comment, just about the designated account. I know one of the concerns has been like the extra electricity and the extra oil for the heat, electricity in the summertime with the air conditioning going, not to mention the toilet products and stuff like that. So if you have a designated fund for what Cheryl's saying that could be used for improvements, that raising this cost and having this cost isn't necessarily going to help just the regular day-to-day of maintaining that building. Not talking about improvements, but just the maintaining. And I think, I wasn't part of the conversation of doing all this, but it's my assumption that part of the reason for the pricing is so that that can offset some of the costs that the town is already getting, or having to incur because of the use of the building.
I think it came about because Mrs. Dillon had some concerns. So that's how the conversation, I believe, that's how this came about the rental agreement itself. You had concerns, so that's where it came from.
No, I was
I think
She's
it
right,
was
she's right.
discussion.
That's right, because I pulled the oil and I also pulled the electric bill, and in the summer it's astronomical for the electric, and in the winter, it's a lot of oil. That thing is like, it takes a lot to keep that building.
Okay. Any further discussion about Woody?
Yeah, man.
Oh, yes, I did see your.
No, there seems to be two issues, okay? So maybe you want to put split it in half. Some of the money goes to, operations, and some goes into designated account for Cheryl's,
That was gonna be my suggestion, Mr. Sabathia.
Thank you very much, Cheryl, go ahead and make your suggestion.
That's.
No, you're on the council, make it a amendment.
No, you said it, I'm agreeing with you, that's a good suggestion.
Thank you.
So on our register, that goes into miscellaneous funds. When you take that, it goes into miscellaneous funds. You have to break that out somehow to show the wood rather than money coming into the wood. So that's Kelly's question, and how she do it, and how she,
Just split it in half.
but I'm saying it's a miscellaneous key that's used for not only the Woody Loudon,
Oh,
it's used for,
So the money from Woody would go into half miscellaneous and half in the designated account. What about the other buildings?
that's the next question.
what other buildings?
This building?
This building
The
really isn't
fairgrounds?
rented. This building really isn't rented for like an event unless it's a wedding, and that would be approved by the council. And then really, this building is never rented except for a wedding.
I
And
didn't
I
know.
think with the condition of this building and how old it is and how this shouldn't be a rental.
Not right now, it shouldn't, not with the, problem gutter.
And for the town fairgrounds, that's always been a fee that's been in $100 fee. And that's for people who are not in the town. That's for people who want our grounds, want to utilize our grounds for a party or for an event, but it's not Waldorf Forster, then that's what they pay.
Yes.
Could you call it, I mean, I hate to split hairs, but rental expenses, a dedicated account, which goes for any expenses that are incurred because of the rental of the building, and that includes wear and tear.
The Woody is basically our only building. We're not even going to rent the Benetti, only for our town meetings, which is totally full.
I think that's a decision though that the council needs to make.
Oh, okay. So,
I mean,
yeah,
I'm
that's
saying-
fine. No, I'm just saying that that's
decision
not like
the
a
council
it's a
makes.
small building. We're going to be redoing it, which I'll talk about after and how it's going to be. There's no kitchen right now. Totally up to you. Whatever you decide, I will honor.
Does Callie need to be part of
Okay.
this discussion?
So, that part,
No.
I was just wondering, you know, with all the suggestions, the different accounts and things, if Kelly doesn't need to be part of the discussion.
Absolutely.
From a finance standpoint, if I figure it all out.
Thank you. Mr. Stone, you had more to say?
Well, on the damage deposit,
Yes?
100, you've got, right to retain the damage deposit for any damages, or if a town official determines improper cleanup of the facility. That I would like to read DPW director and a town official.
I had struggled with that actually too, and question mark as to who would be the designated town official that would be looking at that. I didn't.
Well, I would say Susan could be, why not? She's the town clerk, she takes all these things in, she handles them, she's responsible.
It should be DPW director
Along
is
with
in
him?
charge
Oh, all
of
right.
buildings and grounds.
I think he's come to her and told her about some issues in the past. So
I don't know.
I think it should be between either the two of them or he reported it to her, so she's involved anyway.
I think that it should, I think we should designate who the town official is, or a town official, I think it's just,
It should be DPW director.
Well, if he's gonna do the cleanup and check, you're right.
He's gonna do the cleanup,
Fine.
he's the one that's gonna check the grounds.
So he's gonna make the decision on whether to keep the damaged deposits, what you're saying? He's gonna
Yes.
report to Susan and let her know whether it goes back or not.
Mrs.
You
Rice.
see, I was a little bit confused when they said, what was the original wording, something and an official?
The original, well, I don't know, I don't have the original.
It says,
Does the original say,
I don't remember.
I'll read,
okay,
this is well, the new one, right?
no, the original.
That was not changed, that the only thing
That
that
was
was
not
changed was Benetti was taken out of the equation.
Right, no, I was just saying, did it say, I mean, when I think of an official, I think of an elected official, I don't think of an employee of the town, a department head. So that, what about the DPW director and?
So I think that's what Chris had
That's
said.
what I originally said.
That's what Chris had said. I think the DPW director is the one who's cleaning it, so he would probably notice, or his men are cleaning it, and they would probably notice, and they would report to the DPW director that there's an issue.
Not to the town clerk.
Right, but it would be just him then?
So,
He would be the.
Well, no,
determiner?
Chris had said DPW director or a town official.
And, I said and.
And a town official.
Can it be and or?
I think we're getting a little.
This is a $14 million budget.
I think the DPW director and a town official would be acceptable. What are your thoughts, Cheryl?
Yeah, I think the town official, right, would be Susan, because she's the one that takes the information, takes the deposit.
we do go out and check.
And she goes with them sometimes already.
Before she comes out, before she comes to work, she'll go to Woody and she'll double check to make sure how it was left the night before. And she'll say, no, it was fine, she'll come back and she'll mail the deposit check back. That's the system we have going. If you want to change the system, that is fine with me.
Okay. Do you have anything else, Chris?
And it's running pretty well, almost like a well-oiled machine.
Do you have anything else? I had a couple, I just wanted to, it's just kind of,
Here's my thing. My thing is, Bob is in charge of buildings and grounds. Not Sue.
I'm in charge of the rentals and that we
That
have
is correct.
insurance, that we have, and we,
You
Unbelievable.
take the application.
okay, that's fine, Chris. Whatever you want, we will change this application and do.
just one of my things is, and it's just a clerical thing, Sue. It says under the townhouse that, for limited activities such as wedding ceremonies, dedications for small performances, but then on the
That should be.
rental, it says wedding
Yeah.
ceremonies only. The other thing that I noted,
Does it say no food or drink?
it does within, it does say that, and I know I have mine too.
No, you know.
The other thing I noted is down at the bottom of where it says damage deposit,
Mhm.
it says please remove and tax, I think it's any tax,
Sure thing.
or tape used for decorations. And then, I had a question about food. Oh, you had those, and I'm not sure how it's gonna go, but you know how you had the rental fees for Woody on the pamphlet?
Yes,
And then on the form, it just has one price,
okay.
where it says $75 for resident and $125 for non-residents.
I must have printed the wrong one because that was updated, so
So,
you'll get that.
well, it would have been $50 for residents and $100 for
No, because
non-residents.
we changed it to 75.
I understand that, but you
No,
don't
no,
have
it
the
was changed to
choices there.
75 before.
Then where it says reporting damage or concerns,
This is
where it says to the town clerk, and it provides the town clerk's telephone number, you're not always available, and that number is just gonna take, so if it's something that really needs, I think the DPW and the Foster Police Dispatch would be more appropriate, because I'm not sure that,
If there's a problem there, like at the, if something's going on and somebody falls, or is that what you're saying?
right, because getting in touch with you, they're gonna call that number. It's not, if it's on a weekend or at night, they're just gonna get an answering machine. So I think it might, and that being first, I think it would be the first number that they call. So I'm thinking either DPW or, and keeping the police dispatches there would be more appropriate. And how does it work? It says here, the town clerk's office will coordinate with the renter to have the alarm turned off for the event. How does that work, Sue? Now,
They usually call me if, say it's alarm, this building is alarmed, you need to put in the alarm, and you get the code. The
so
only-
they get,
nobody uses this building. I opened this building for the people who are gonna use it, which is not used, let's just say that. The Woody, there is no alarm. There's no
Okay.
alarm, it's just, this is the only building that has an alarm.
okay, but it has been rented in the past where, or used
In the past
past.
2.5 years, I think we've used it once for a wedding.
Okay. So, but it was used, like, does preservation have the code figure? Because I know they use.
Because it's the same code downstairs.
There you
So,
go.
yeah.
So, then it's secure. All right, any other questions or concerns before? Oh, I had one more thing. On your capacity of town buildings, is this just for us, or is this distributed to people?
That's just for you.
Okay, because it does say in your pamphlet that the second floor can't be used here, but then it says you can have 184 people upstairs.
That was just, I just printed that out for your capacity. This
Okay.
building is not really used for anything except for preservation.
And Foster Home Days.
And Foster Home Days, that is it, and they know that they're not supposed to use it.
Okay, yeah, there's usually changes, etc. Questions for?
So, did anybody write down all the changes?
Oh, I was taking notes.
Super changes.
I have changes.
You don't have a handout?
Oh, I'm stewing. Go ahead.
You're what?
Go ahead, Carl.
Okay.
So this building actually is also used at Thanksgiving time by the Foster Churches Association
Yes.
for their ecumenical service for Thanksgiving. They don't rent it, but it is used. So because it's a use, not a rental, that won't have anything to do with
No,
this.
no,
Okay.
Which, is this the time to discuss how is it determined who pays a fee and who doesn't? And what any of the things? I don't know, that's what I'm asking. How, you said that Swamp Meadow is going to pay $25. So how is that all determined, who pays what and who doesn't?
It's only Swan Meadow that is the only community, the community there that we asked to pay, because in the last our Ben Eddy building but we pay the heat, we pay the electric, we do all that, so we came up with a price for them.
And I just add, Swamp Meadow did replace a whole bunch of tables at Woody Loudon a couple of years ago because the tables were all damaged and lost and
I was not
terrible.
aware of that. Thank
And
you.
Swamp Meadow I think we bought 6 tables for there.
I was not aware of that. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. So,
For the use.
who
And everyone else.
determines,
Yeah.
who determined that was the $25?
Well, we felt that $75 to have them rented would
Who's
be.
we though? I don't
The
understand.
girls, when we went through this.
Okay, and who are the girls?
It was the girls at the townhouse that we decided that, because he had come in, he asked to rent it for the period of time. And we talked about it and we just changed it.
Thank you. Mrs. Ryder?
No, I just am now a little uncomfortable that everybody's gonna know there's no one. Because of the camera.
But they don't there's no box there for them to put it in.
I know, but, years ago I wouldn't have, but today.
There used to be bars on the windows.
Yes, there are.
On some of those windows, yeah.
We were there the other day, and I was noticing that there were bars on the windows. Okay. Any further discussion? Do we want to table
Actually,
this?
there was some on there, Susan,
Yeah.
but it went off the day I went to use it for something we had to
Yeah,
call. We had to call,
You called me.
I called you and you
You called
told me
me.
to call.
Oh,
Yeah.
what's that song?
I
I
called
have no idea.
He came over, right?
It was Kniff, he came over and he
Was it the
reset
fire system?
Yeah.
Because the Joy doesn't
Yeah,
have
it's a
a,
fire.
it says a fire system.
It was a
There's an
fire.
alarm. There is an alarm.
There is a-
There is an alarm.
Yeah.
I know you said I can't shut it off, so I called Paul and he ran over.
Right.
So there is an alarm. We've made a lot of suggestions here. There has been a motion and has been seconded. Do we want to table this until our next meeting?
Make
So
the
those-
changes.
To make the changes? Would that be appropriate? Do we have to withdraw our motions?
No, you can
Just
just
make changes of the documents, or make changes on the prices, what did we decide?
Well, we were having discussion about that.
There was no changes on it.
No change, okay,
On
so
the
it's
lunch
just
that I
this.
saw.
Well, no, there
Okay.
was. Chris had made
No,
suggestions.
no, Cheryl made the motion to leave those the way they are.
Okay. All right, so that was my question, and that was seconded.
Yeah,
So
I seconded it.
And you're fine with leaving it that, not changing it,
Whatever.
but we want to have the supplemental funds, and then we can make sure Kelly can be available for that discussion. Okay?
Yes, that's fine.
So
So
the
that,
motion now is to table it till next meeting until you can have a redrafted version of this to review.
So I amend my main.
Yes, and then.
I'd like to amend my main motion to table this discussion until we have the changes made and the treasurer is present to discuss.
Second.
discussion. All in favor of the amended motion?
Aye.
Opposed? All in favor of the main motion? No.
I second.
Yeah, okay, that's right. I'm thinking, I'm just thinking, okay. So, so we're gonna move on to senior bus discussion. And you provided us with one document, am I correct?
I did.
Okay.
So I just wanted to talk to you, just to update you on where things were at with the van. I have an appointment scheduled with RIPTA on July 25th at 10 o'clock in the morning. I think it was 25th, let me just check. Yes, Wednesday, July 25th at 10 o'clock in the morning. If anybody would like to come with me, you're welcome to. I was going to ask Bob Lohr if he wanted to come, but it's to go down to RIPTA and actually see what the van is going to look like that we're going to get. RIPTA has ordered some for their service. They ordered theirs in January. They're coming in July. So we can look at the ones in July, but it's probably going to be 5 or 6 months before we actually get our van. So we're looking at the early part of next year before that van comes in.
July, what time?
July 25th at 10 o'clock.
I can make that.
Okay. But they, and I was like, what, you know, we just order it like sight unseen. I'm just like concerned about the time frame here. He doesn't the person I'm talking to at RIPTA does not recommend that. He said, you know, you're spending a lot of money. He said, you really need to look at it, make sure it has everything you want. So the thing that was in your packet actually talks about all of the bells and whistles and things that could be on the van. The original price that RIPTA quoted was, with all the bells and whistles and things on there, was $89,745. I went over what all of these things were with him, and he said there's a lot of stuff that doesn't need to be included, which is all the stuff that I have in yellow. So that has the negatives in the far side, which brought it down to $67,252. With the town's 20% that we would owe, that brings our portion down to $13,450.
That's awesome.
So yeah, and that's where initially, when I went to the town financial meeting, I said 18,000 because we were looking at 20% of the 89. But now that we can take probably some of those things out, like a lot of it had to do with technology stuff that they have on theirs. We don't need all that technology on ours, like the laptops and the cameras and all of that sort of stuff. So we were able to take a lot of that off of there. So that was the first scenario. The second scenario actually raises that price a little bit just because of two possible things that I wanted to talk to you folks about. One is the child warning monitor system, and I had asked him what that was. Not that we're transporting children, but he said for their situation where if they are transporting like children that have disabilities or something, you know, to a school or an event or whatever, he said what that does is it forces the driver, when they're done with, they want to turn off the van, that they actually have to walk to the back of the bus, turn off an alarm in order to leave, to turn off the van and to leave. He said, so it really is just a safety feature. It costs $1,000 to have that. We only owe 20% of that, so it's $200 for us to have that added safety on there. But I wanted to get your input as to whether or not you felt that that was a reasonable cost to spend and add to that, or whether you don't think we need it, which is fine.
It's for children, but we're using it for seniors. If a senior falls asleep on the back of the bus.
They slip under, I mean, you know, there's.
The amount
Yeah.
of money.
For $200, I kind of thought, I would include it,
Yeah,
but, you know, I
yeah.
wanted to bring that up to ask you folks what your opinions are. Because these are the kinds of things that we'll get to see when we actually go, when we go see the van, and they'll show us what that system is and how that works. There was one of the things that was on here that I took off, it was $3,000, was the on-spot tire chains. I said, what is that for? And he said, apparently, I guess these vans have, like if you're in bad weather, apparently there's chains that will actually engage to keep you from slipping or something, or to help you get unstuck if you're stuck. And I said, you know what, if we're in that bad weather, we're not going out.
Right.
So I didn't really think that we needed to include those. And then the last thing that I wanted input on from you folks too was the lettering. Right now they have Rhode Island custom laser cut graphics. On there, he said it would probably be about $1,000. I was talking to finance today, trying to find our trail for the emblems or the decals that we have on our DPW trucks. Those round decals that are on there. There's a magnetic one that's on the car, and there's ones that are actual stick-on some of the other vehicles. I couldn't find the actual ones. I put a call out to the company that DPW actually had gotten those from, and I'm just waiting to hear back from them. But if on the, just on a small town car, it's a 10-inch magnetic. For two of those, it was $75. So I kind of think it's probably worth it for us to not get the lettering, and for us to just, it's a place in Johnston. It's called Aramenian Sign Corporation. It's like Okay.
Rankin sign.
Yeah, it's on Shun Pike. Apparently DPW uses them for a lot of their signage. So if we already have a relationship with them. I'm not looking for anything fancy. It doesn't have to be great graphics. I'm happy to do just the round emblem like that is. But where it says Department of Public Works, change it to Senior Transport.
She has that probably on file, and she can change it.
Who has that?
The woman that,
A Rankin sign.
Yeah, she said she was gonna look up the file and get back to me about it.
She'll have it, she can change it.
So it's, I don't want the orange technically, because like those are orange and green. I was like, maybe green, black, and white or something, with our
She can
emblem
change it
just
to
sets
whatever.
out there. So, yeah, that's in the middle of it. And then it says Town of Foster on the top, and then it says Department of Public Works, so we can just change it to say Senior Transport. So I think for a couple $100, we probably should be able to do that and wouldn't have to pay the extra $1,000. So I just wanted to bring that stuff to you folks for discussion.
I just have one other thing too, if you're, when I was looking at the list and highlighted, the Safety Vision Special 7 camera recording system.
Yeah. That's something that they have on their units, like they ordered 25 units and they've got like all these bells and whistles with cameras and recordings and
But do you
laptops and all that sort of stuff.
I'm just looking at, we've got a pretty litigious group of people. Should we have a camera where it's recorded that there's not elderly abuse?
Or abused by the elderly.
Right. Yes, right. I don't know that we need that price camera, but that's what I was like, well,
I don't know, we can ask them about that when we meet with them, like if we just,
Right.
is there a simple
I
system?
see
Is
your
there
hand,
some kind of a
Susanna.
simple system that, does it have to be
need that, right,
that?
I don't know. I don't
Because
know.
then the thing is like you've got a camera, so who's, are we monitoring that, or is it only, like, where,
It's probably looping somewhere.
Yeah,
I think also the RIP is doing it after that sheriff or that federal marshal got killed outside of the
all right,
federal courthouse in Kennedy Plaza. I think they started putting cameras on those buses after that happened. That's probably part of the deal too. They're doing it now for their own money.
externally, I'm thinking internally.
Right, oh yeah, both ways, actually, I know, right, but I think they're doing it, they have cameras outside the buses now
Right,
for people that might be just walking in front of
because
them.
there've been a couple that
For a
have been.
couple of deaths in recent years.
I don't know.
So I don't know, when you guys go, you have to ask to see what the camera's
Yeah.
for.
I mean,
It must move.
And the thing
somehow.
is, if we do it through them, we pay 20%.
Right, right,
So,
but a $15,000 camera.
yeah.
Mr. Savazio, you had a.
Yeah, I was wondering, did anybody ask Carol if she spends $12,000 in 5 years for taxis or vans?
To what, for what? Taxes.
And did anybody ask Carol
I got that.
if she spends $12,000 a year for taxis or vans? In the past, I have volunteered, I think there are other people that have volunteered. This bus, elderly bus, has come up numerous times since 1990 and has been turned down.
Well, it
Has
has been approved.
I know it's been approved, and you may want to think about it, is what I'm saying to you. Has anybody asked the question of, is this grant going to be ongoing, or are you absorbing a $60,000 future bill with a 2% inflation per year?
Those are questions, I'm sorry, I'm just going to interject for you. Those are questions that were discussed at the financial town meeting, and people still voted for it.
Well, then, so what has happened is, I didn't go to town financial meeting because they're useless now. But at this point, you heard me say this, so I'll say it for the other councilmen that are here. This council keeps adding costs to the future of this community. Dr. Barnes hit you with a nice one, and there is no additional revenue. And I'm going to see Dr. Barnes tomorrow. This is not off the subject. because I don't believe anymore that he can handle anything but 4% increases a year. So think about moving forward with this van because you can't afford it.
And
Sorry.
Mr. Savazio, as I said, that was a discussion that I had, concerns that I had, and you can ask Mrs. Morrow.
Well, I'm sure you've had it, but at
And
this
the
point,
town voted for it.
you're still, listen, I think I'm correct in saying this, you are still in charge. All right?
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I think you're still in charge, okay? So
Thank
if you don't move forward with this, the people might get mad that voted for it, but they're gonna be real mad when you keep raising their taxes 4% a year and the town keeps falling apart. So have at it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any further discussion on the school, the senior bus discussion?
I just wanted to add one more part of that. Because of the delay in getting the van, the grant term is from June 1st, 2019 to May 31st of 2020. We're losing probably 7 months of that grant. I'm in the process of talking to the state representative, and I have a meeting there tomorrow afternoon to find out if there's a way that they can roll over what we don't use so that we can extend the life of that grant.
Thank you.
It's possible we will lose it, but it is the renewable for the second year, and it was approved for the second year as long as funding is approved through the state and through the feds. But there is that possibility, but I am continuing those conversations with them. So I just want to
Thank
you guys know where that was at.
Thanks.
And I do think that this should be discussed again once we go in July to see what everything looks like, and then I think you might have a better idea.
Yeah, it's helpful if, as a town council, we can also, though, and I realize we're missing a couple people, have an idea of what we want going into it, because the longer we delay, like, if we go there on the 25th and we can say, okay, yes, we think we need this, and this, we can order it and move on with it. If it has to come to a council meeting and we wait till August, and there's only one town council meeting in August, it could be September before that is, and then that's another 6 months.
So you would like us to make a motion today regarding this?
To make a decision about what you want for add-ons on here.
Okay. I'm not sure, because I have concerns about the camera.
All right, we can put that in motion, can't we?
Do you want to meeting before the 25th of July?
We do, we have one more meeting.
Is that-
We have a meeting in June.
Well,
I mean, it's not gonna make any difference.
I'm not gonna have any more information
Right.
about it until, and actually until we see it.
So the
I mean, I can try to find out more about the camera and what the camera does or what doesn't, I can send you folks an email, but,
So what we have then, from the notes I have, is that the things that you've highlighted, we would not go along, we would not ask for. We would deduct, we would go along with your suggestion. Except for the child warning monitoring system, we would add that on.
correct.
So-
And I actually made a mistake on here, I'm sorry. On scenario 2, we're keeping the child warning system, that was $1,000. But we only would owe 20% of that, which brought it to the $13,650.
Yep,
Now that I'm looking at this, when he said that the lettering for the van was actually $1,000, that would not be added onto the $13,650 for $14,650. That should only be 20% of that, so that should only be $200. So it would be $13,650 plus the $200, which is the 20% of that lettering.
mhm.
So maybe that's worth it to get the fancier lettering and still, because I said, probably we might pay $200 for the decals. I don't know. So that would bring our grand total up to $13,850.
May I ask one question?
1 second, please.
Yes, no problem.
Thank you. Discussion from the council?
I think we should make a motion to allow him to do that, and I think if you could get that information on the camera, what do we need, 1, 2 cameras inside? That would cost $15,000.
It's only a 9-passenger van, it's not a big van.
So 1 camera to protect everybody? I I think that's what we just asked you to go for.
So that's your motion.
She's not gonna, no,
Joe,
until-
I'm gonna make it into a motion. I'm sorry. I'm with it.
Krista, I really think a camera is needed in this day and age.
I do too.
I just really,
Just for everybody's protection.
unfortunately,
Let's
right,
go.
right. I have a couple of hands raised, not gonna.
Seven.
No, I'm not even sure it's 7, I thought it was the title, special 7 camera. I thought that was the title
We need the
camera.
details on that.
Yeah, it may be less than that, because if that's a 7-camera recording system,
Yeah, I don't know what
if there's a
that entails.
simpler recording system that's 1 camera and it's a few thousand, maybe that's $2,000. I don't know. I'm
Right.
pulling that out of the air because I have no idea.
Right, what does
And
that,
our portion would be $400.
Right.
right, so what does that, what is that exactly?
Yeah.
Is that the title of the camera, or is it 7 cameras? And do we really need all the loopy-loops that they're gonna have on it? Mr. Dillon, you had your hand raised.
Yeah, I wanna understand the camera thing is a security thing, right?
I think it's
But
more for protection of whoever's on the bus that we can look at that film. If somebody's accusing someone of doing something, we can look at that.
Okay, then there's another option with, the child option, is that separate? That's a
Yes,
different thing, right?
They're different items, yes. There's a list
And
of
that's-
items.
That's a
And-
child warning monitoring system so that you don't forget anybody on the bus.
We
Okay,
need that. It's kind of like when you go buy
No.
a car, you get this deal and this,
and how much is that option? The child thing?
The child thing is $200 to the town. It's $1,000.
Okay, well, I guess it's short money, but considering the size of this bus, it's not a ripped bus.
Right.
It doesn't hold 77 passengers, it holds 9. If the bus driver, I've seen the layout of the bus, if the bus driver can't turn around and see somebody in or not in the bus, there's a problem. So,
I mean, and that's the other thing too. I am working on a job description also because we don't have a job description for this, which I will bring to the council, obviously. And that could just be one of the descriptions of what the driver is expected to do. At the end of your shift, you walk through, you make sure there's nobody on the bus, and it's on their shoulders. But it's gonna actually be on the town's shoulders because that person's gonna be employed by the town.
Right,
So,
that's something to consider.
and that's where for
Regular school
$200.
bus drivers sweep the floor, they make them sweep the floor, they have to go all the way to the
Well,
back of the
regular
bus.
school buses have that little button on the back now.
They, you know. they
This-
sweep the floor.
I understand. It seems like overkill.
this bus is not much bigger than my van.
I get it,
I understand. I get it. Mr. Savazio, you had a question.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a fruitless suggestion that you don't make a motion and lose the grant. That would be the smart thing to do, just lose the
I
grant.
couldn't hear you, the chair was moving. You make a motion, you.
I would suggest that you don't make a motion and lose the grant, because this is a good deed, and no good deed goes unpunished. Wait till for the future of this mess. All right, thank you for listening to me, I'd like to just hear myself talk.
Thank you.
Yeah, Cheryl, I see you
Thank
sitting there
Excuse
doing
me.
nothing.
Thank you, thank you.
I didn't know you had to come get the camera from
Unbelievable.
company, the bus.
Well, it comes fitted, that type of thing. Right, I know, that's,
She's gonna check it.
she's gonna check, so it's kind of figuring out, is it easier, cheaper for us to install our own, or is it, you know, for them to do it? So,
And if it's 20%, I mean, I would think it's probably cheaper for them to do it. Because
Well-
they're paying for 80%, we're only paying for
So you're
20%.
gonna meet with them when?
July
July
25th.
25th.
And we have a council meeting.
Wait, that's one of our agenda items.
I mean, at this point, you have quorum, if it's possible to make the decision whether we're adding the child thing or not, whether we're doing the lettering or not, and whether we're looking, whether you want to possibly add the option of the camera, so that at least when Denise and I meet with them and hopefully Bob on the 25th, and they say, okay, you ready to go, we can say, yes, we've discussed it, we got the approval. If at that point, we look at it and we don't think that's reasonable, I don't think that I mean, I don't see why we couldn't say, no, we're not gonna get that.
Could we have a council meeting that night, actually, the 25th?
Oh, we do?
So, yes, so if we had, it's a future agenda item, a future, under new business, we have July and August. So if we said that, yes, we would have a meeting on the 25th, after we went, we could come back, we could vote on it, and then you could call the next day.
The first, yeah. As long as we are having a council meeting, because
We
I
are,
saw that there was.
well, we're having, there's two options, and that's one of the choices.
That would be one.
The meeting is the 27th.
Awesome. The meeting's the 27th?
Yes.
No, July 25th.
Oh, no, the 25th is a Wednesday.
They're talking about
July 25th, so it should be July 26th then, because I think this is a Wednesday we're meeting with them. Did I write that down?
Yes, the
He
27th.
said the 25th. You
July
said the
25th
25th is a
Wednesday?
Thursday. July 25th is a Thursday.
I was looking at June 27th.
Then I think that I wrote that down. Oh, it is Thursday, I'm sorry, he changed it, we were supposed to be the Wednesday prior to that.
So it's July
Yes, it is.
25th, and our council meeting may be the 25th.
Okay,
Okay. So we can go with that.
that's fine.
Any further discussion then on this, so we can wait until that night to make this decision?
Yeah, I think if we're there that day, we
So we can table that to the 25th.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just thought.
Personally, I think it's great.
One is only.
We need to make a motion.
We did not make a motion, so I'll just make it as a future.
Ron said we don't have to.
Right,
I'm good with that.
okay. Thank you. Moving on, we did our Foster Little Free Library, town clerk presentation. This is it. You're up again.
Well, thank you for asking me what's going on at the town hall, I appreciate it. We talk about daily business, which is business licensing, reporting, building permits, like that, and just help our people when they come in. We have a lot of other things that we do, and that we have been doing. So Carol Shawley wrote a grant, and she wrote a grant to restore one of our road books, our older ones, 1829 to 1846. We asked the Rhode Island Foundation for $750, and we got $461.58, so thank you, Carol. That's going towards the next book that's going out, which is another Rose book. The books are roughly 2,500 to 3,500 to have redone. We have 16 books that still need to be done that haven't been done since 2006. Yeah, 2006. So we want to make sure we're taking care of those. Sue Boucher is working on getting all the land evidence cards online. Extremely time consuming, but it's a project. Once the cards are online, it will be easy to search on the computer instead of going through the card file. We've already revamped our wall. It's been painted, thank you to DPW, and John. Everything is extremely organized. There's wall signs. Each area is labeled for accessibility. We added file cabinets, and shelving, and map stand, and it looks amazing. And we get a lot of compliments. So we did a lot of work with the wall. The Ben Eddy building, that's something that we're working on now, and that's why all of our meetings are here for the next couple of months. It's being painted, and we're gonna make it look almost like a preservation, I should say, is doing the pitches, the old pitches, and anything that we have that we can put in our, that glass covered in the back, just to bring it out of the basement here and share it with the people of the town. So preservation is helping with the, they helped with 2 fundraisers. We did a fundraiser, 2 of them for the money, to use the money for the conference table, all the picture frames, printing of the pictures,
Blinds.
and the wooden blinds, that's it. So it's gonna look amazing. And I just want everyone to enjoy it, because we don't have a lot of buildings, but what we have, we want them to look amazing, and it's a part of our history. And when we put our history on the wall, I think people will be really amazed at what it's going to look like. Susan Sprague, she has done an amazing job with organizing all the voter registration cards. They were once in books and binders on the wall, and been locked to the wall, and it was so hard to get, I don't even know how we came up with that process, but she had a great idea, why don't we take these out of books, why don't we organize them and put them in a file cabinet? Right, that's great, so we did that, and it's just so much easier to file all of our new voter registrations, or even voters that have come out. It takes minutes instead of hours. Our website is a useful tool for all our residents. We keep them informed. We currently have 832 people on our site. They receive news and notices, minutes, town alerts. We also have a Facebook page, RI Town Hall, RI First Town Hall, and Town Clerk Susan Dillon is another page that we update. We also have updated all our business listings on our webpage. We had a contest in January, and Carol won. She got the most. More residents to join on our webpage. So she won a lunch, and we put 200 people on in that 1 month. That was January, so they did an amazing job. We have an email line to our dog registration program so that we can just hit one button and send out all of the updates that are needed. So your dog gets registered every year, okay, we send it out April 1st, one touch done, goes out to everybody. They know that it's time to re-register their dog. Easy. So it's so much easier. Let's see. All our old probates from 1835 to 1955 were housed in envelopes in like library drawers in the vault in wood, that there should never be wood in our vault. And they would disintegrating really, the papers, so we had to take them out, we scanned them in. This is a project, ongoing project, I think we're at 1948, right? So we take them out, we lay them flat, we put them in folders, and just so much easier to find things instead of going through those drawers and trying to unwrap the papers. And they're scanned into the system now. In the last 2.5 years, we've collected $16,759, and that's from old probates that were never closed,
That's awesome.
never got inventory. This month alone, we're taking in $3,055 from old probates. We still have 2006 and 2008 through 2008 to go through, and we will be caught up. So
That's awesome.
Nice.
Where does the old probate, that money go? Into the general fund?
can I have it?
No.
Can I have it for the board?
But I don't think she's done yet. No, I interrupted, sorry.
No, council computers and software was a huge savings of time. How is that working for you? Do you like it? Do you not like it? It's so much.
I still make my hard copy because hard copy, but that's just.
But you still do see it?
Yes, yes.
And that's updated as we get stuff. We'll put it into the system and you can see it. Community code, the town charter, and the town ordinances is now updated on our webpage. They're in zoning. They're also in the town clerk's section. We had it as a PDF because that's all we could afford. It was like $75 to put on there, but we got a lot of complaints. People wanted to look at it, but it was so difficult to look at and so difficult to search. So now we have it online and it's searchable. It's cross-referenced, it's searchable. You can print it, you can email certain sections of it. So much better. So now when it's updated, you don't have to have a black book like these black books here, and then make sure you get them back so that you can update them. It's all online. Again, we've updated our rental flyer, which we're going to talk about on the 27th again. So tons of projects still to tackle. We have title cards that need to be scanned in, so we just bought a desk scanner for Susan Boucher, and she's going to scan those in because we only have them in the vault. We don't have any backup at all. So if someone was to take a copy, we wouldn't even know. So it's best that we get them all online. So we have two places for them. We're in the process of getting shredded bins for the town hall instead of waiting in 1 year, getting all of our stuff that needs to be shredded. We keep it upstairs and then take it down and then shred it once a year. We're just going to have shredding boxes right there, and they'll pick up once a month. We had shredded 250 boxes of paperwork that we no longer needed after we used our retention schedule. We went up to finance section and our section. So that was a major accomplishment. There was things from the 90s that was just up there being housed for no reason. We're still handing out our welcome packets, and I was going to each person's house and delivering them with a gift. It got kind of crazy because sometimes they weren't home and you'd have to go back, so we decided to put a little card, a little welcome card in. We send them out a new registration, a new voter, not a new voter, a new resident information. They tell us, it's for the police really, that new register, the new voter, no, why do I say voter, the new, resident. Yeah, and, we just put a card in there and tell them, please come into the town hall and get your welcome package and get your gift, and then we get to meet you, and it's been successful, and I still have to buy more candles. We give them a candle with our website right on it, very cute. And they're happy. They're kind of excited because they say, oh gosh, nobody does this anymore. But we do, and I think it's great. I think it makes them feel welcome. Let's see. We created a spreadsheet for zoning to track all our zoning issues and building permits, to keep everybody informed. We have a lot of part-time people, and they're not always there, so it's good that we can just look at it at a glance and tell them what's going on, or all of us know what's going on. We also created a spreadsheet for the planner for major and minor subdivisions, land development, commercial site review, special use permits, and zoning variances. Another thing, people come in and say, what's going on with this? And again, we have part-time people and not always are they there, so we can just look at that spreadsheet and say, well, this is where it's at right now, it's going to be up the state for zoning or the state for planning. So, we have a great team, we really do. And I think we have a lot of fun, and I think our town hall is run pretty efficiently. We help each other out, all of us, so whatever we need, you know, if you know it better than I know it, then you help me and I help you, and it's just it's great. So, until next month, that's what's going on at the town hall.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for the organization she's done in the
Yes.
fall and everywhere else. It's incredible.
Can I just add to that?
Yes.
We got 4 new locking cabinets for free for the town hall.
Very good.
And that was just this past month. And free.
Yeah, that'll make up for the bus, for sure.
Thank you, Sue. Moving on, we have the approval of the bid. Now, you were bringing that?
That's in Trinity.
I did not see it. I guess I just checked. Here's the bid. And that's the letter. I have
That's the
a
letter, not
but I did
bid.
not see this in Sugarson.
That's the bid, that's the bids, and that's,
Right.
yeah.
But you say it's in
Yeah,
Sugarson?
I put it in the attic, until I gave you that.
Okay, I didn't see it. Maybe I'm just not looking in the right place.
No, I didn't say anything.
Okay.
Hold on, I'll have to get it, but that's the paper, and that's what their suggestion of what
Okay.
they want to do.
When I open, and I'm sorry, I'm going off track here. When I open up Foster Ambulance Corps, it just has the letter that,
Yeah, that's just the letter, and then they open the bids, and I thought that was in there, so it's right, there.
yeah, so as long as we have something, thank you. So, the ambulance court had asked for a bid regarding the automatic CPR machine. They were soliciting bids for that. That was due yesterday at 4 o'clock, and then they opened it, and here's their recommendations. There were 3 submittals by EMS Supply, Stryker, Lucas 3, and that was per unit $15,985, which would be, the total cost would be $31,970. It comes with 1 battery, 2 chest pads, plus the normal materials per online pricing. Replacement pads are around $150, and the batteries are around $500 with a lesser shelf life. The second bid was by EMS Supply, DFID Tech, Lifeline Arm, and theirs was $11,000 per unit for a total of $22,000. And it comes with 6 pads and 2 batteries, plus the normal materials per online pricing. The replacement pads are around $100 and the batteries are around $400. And then the last bid was Zoll Auto Pulse, and theirs was $12,276.75 per unit, and it was a total of $24,553.50. It comes with 3 batteries, 3 pads. Replacement batteries are $825. Replacement pads are $360. The recommendation by G. Caldwell, who's the commander, and Thomas Walden was by EMS Supply DFID Tech Lifeline, which is a total of $22,000. What is the council's pleasure?
Okay, it's in there.
I'm sorry, what?
It's in there now.
Oh, thank you. Do you want to?
I make a motion that we accept their recommendation, EMS Supply, D-Tech, Lifeline for $22,000.
Second. Discussion?
I have a question. if I may.
1 second. Discussion?
No, I'm good.
Mr. Sparta?
Have they supplied the council with their books yet?
That's not on the agenda, so I'm not.
Well, it's just a yes or no question.
I'm not going to answer that at this time.
Okay, then, since they probably haven't, we probably shouldn't forward this bid forward. Thank you.
Mr.
Yes.
That money was approved for capital, to pay $30,000.
I believe it was.
Yes. Any further questions? Hearing none. We have a motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Moving on, meetings in July and August. So we have a meeting July 8th and we have a meeting scheduled July 25th. What is the pleasure of the council? Do you want to have both meetings? Do you want, actually July 11th or July 25th? Do we have one meeting in July and August, or 2 meetings in July and August?
We did that last year, and we did it with the provision that if we needed to, we
Make it
would.
out special.
And we did have
We did
2
it.
special meetings.
We did.
So,
So if,
say we try it again.
knowing that July 25th, I would propose that we have it on July 25th.
Yes.
And then in August, our meetings are scheduled for August 8th and August 22nd. Since we have it the 25th, I would propose we have it on the 22nd, since it gives, it's not so close and then there's a long period. Is there discussion about a motion?
I make a motion that we meet, one meeting in July on the 25th, and one meeting in August, the 22nd.
Second. Okay. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Great, thank you. Moving on, policies and procedures. This was, Chris, you had mentioned it when we discussed about the Genesis contract and contact person, there was some discussion about that. That's what the policies and procedures is in regards to the Genesis contact people. Because there were several people making phone calls that we're not sure were the appropriate people to be making phone calls.
I thought we had, we discussed that when we said that Kelly should be the.
We said that we would table, we would move it into this discussion. It was an item that we wanted to discuss further.
We need somebody to be to go through.
And when Kelly
Gotta
was the
go
one
through,
that-
can't just all the parties be called.
Right. So if I go ahead. So we had said Kelly,
Right.
and I had a discussion with Kelly and with Sue, and with the chief. I think that, putting more on Kelly as the only contact person is too much. She has a lot on her plate already. So my suggestion would be that it be 3 people. It would be the chief, it would be Kelly, and it would be Sue Dillon.
My only question is, does the chief and does Sue, are they up to date? Do they know? Would they be able to
What is
answer the
required,
questions?
what I'm thinking it requires, it's a contact to Genesis.
Okay.
It's not to solve,
It's not to solve a
it's not
problem.
to do the IT, we're paying them to solve it.
Yeah.
We should,
Not.
but it should be that, okay, if the.
At least those 3 people know there's a problem in a certain department.
Right, and so that the dispatchers would go with the chief, and that,
Makes
you know,
sense.
so that it's not just Kelly,
Okay.
it's 3 people, and then the people, staff need to know that you contact one of those 3 to contact Genesis. So, do we have a motion?
So moved.
You have to spell it out.
Spell it out.
I,
That we make the chief, Kelly, and Sue the liaisons to Genesis.
Second.
discussion. Yes,
Should it be the positions as opposed to the?
that's what I was wondering too. Yes, that was gonna be my next. Instead of
Okay.
that, we say the chief,
Police chief,
yeah,
Town
town clerk.
town
Financial.
clerk, and the town financial officer.
Mhm. And actually, it's the
Good
treasurer,
idea.
it's the treasurer, not,
Treasurer.
it's the treasurer,
Okay,
so.
All right.
So that's been
Is
said,
that amended?
yes,
I'd second.
okay. Discussion about the amended motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All in favor of the main motion?
no,
Oh, it's the same people, so, okay, aye, and then move on. Thank you. That explains why it was policies and procedures, and it had been under our previous agenda, future agenda item was Genesis contact. Moving on, we have poll petition for 3A. We had in our packet, and our sugar sink, you had the information regarding that, but there was no letter attached for 3A from Mr. Lohr. I did speak to Mr. Lohr, and he did approve it with the 3-foot from road recommendation.
it's in there.
It's in there for 13 Round Hill, but it's not in there for 3A Town of Parker.
Thought it was.
Unless I can see it. I think there was a blank page.
He wrote it, they're saying that they're not getting that, but I'm sending it to him, so we wrote it right on the form.
Right, but this letter we had for 13 Round Hill, but not for 3A. So, so we're discussing 3A, Thomas Parker Road, for proposed pole placement, at least 3 feet from the edge of the road.
I make a motion that we approve the request from National Grid for the 3 T Parker Road, as long as it's 3 feet off the side of the road.
And it's 3A,
3, is it
3A T Parker, it says Thomas Parker, what?
3A,
3A,
Thomas Parker.
okay? And that's at the recommendation of the DPW director. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Moving on to poll petition 13 Round Hill Road. And we do have a letter recommending from Mr. Law regarding that with the installation at least 3 feet from the edge of the road. So do I have a motion?
Make a motion that we approve the whole petition for National Grid. Where is the address?
13
13
Round Hill Road. Is there a second?
Second.
Oh, no. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. for the fairgrounds on August 9th from 4 to 7. It's the end of their summer program and they want to do something there, so do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we accept the library's request for August 7th,
No,
or August 9th, from 4 to 7 p.m. If it's raining, it goes under the shed.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next is abatements. We have tangible and motor vehicles. The tangible is in the amount of $4,317.08. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we accept the tangibles and the amount of $4,317.08.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next, we have the motor vehicle abatement in the amount of $7,396.06.
I make a motion that we accept the motor vehicle abatement in the amount of $7,396.06.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. That concludes our open session. Do we have any future agenda items besides the building use permit and the senior bus discussion?
Yes, we have a town license coming on for 27.
Okay.
And I'd like to discuss what happened with the bids on the painting and the roof of the town hall.
Is that something we generally discuss?
I don't know, but I don't know where we go.
I thought that the bids were put out there and then someone,
That's why we haven't seen anything.
Well, that's the other thing I want to put on is the ball field.
oh,
Tax.
I know, that's
What's
really,
going on?
Right.
that really is,
Pile of dirt.
they were supposed to start last week. That's what he had said, that he had started last week, and he hasn't yet. Okay. Any further? Okay, hearing none. I'll take a motion to go into executive session. He's not here.
There you go.